Hey there, fellow humans. Let's talk about Socrates. Like that one friend who always plays devil's advocate, Socrates just loved to argue. But here's the thing, he wasn't a jerk about it. See, Socrates was all about using his big brain not to win arguments, but to actually learn something. He knew that real wisdom comes from questioning everything, even if it meant annoying the heck out of everyone in the agora. That's like ancient Greece's version of Twitter. His secret weapon, the Socratic method. It's basically a fancy way of saying ask really good questions, and trust me, this dude could ask some seriously thought-provoking questions. He was like that friend who asks, "Are those cargo pants ironic?" You're forced to actually think about your life choices. Thanks, Socrates. Now let's break down this whole dialectic method thing. It might sound like a complex philosophical concept, but trust me, it's not as intimidating as it appears. In fact, it's something you might already be doing without even realizing it. It's simpler than it sounds, I promise. The dialectic method is essentially a structured conversation where two or more people discuss a topic, challenge each other's viewpoints, and try to reach a deeper understanding. Imagine you and your buddy are arguing about whether pineapple belongs on pizza. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. This is a classic example of a debate where opinions can be strong and varied. Instead of yelling, "You're wrong," and storming off, you actually listen to each other's points. You take the time to understand where the other person is coming from and why they hold their particular view. You ask questions, you challenge assumptions, and maybe, just maybe, you both learn something new. This process of questioning and challenging is at the heart of the dialectic method. It's not about winning an argument, but about exploring different perspectives. Or you just agree to disagree and order a pizza with extra pepperoni. No judgment here. The goal isn't always to reach a consensus, but to have a respectful exchange of ideas. The point is, the dialectic method is about having a respectful exchange of ideas, even if you disagree. It's about engaging in a dialogue where both parties are open to learning and growing. It's about finding common ground and expanding your own understanding. Even if you don't change your mind, you gain insight into another person's perspective, which can be incredibly valuable. Think of it like a mental workout, but instead of sweating, you're expanding your mind. Engaging in these kinds of discussions can sharpen your critical thinking skills and make you more open-minded, and maybe getting a little hangry, but hey, that's what pizza is for. So next time you find yourself in a debate, remember the dialectic method. It's not about proving who's right or wrong, but about understanding and respecting different viewpoints. And who knows, you might just end up with a new favorite pizza topping. One of the coolest things about the Socratic method is that it forces you to think critically. And no, I don't mean criticizing your friend's questionable fashion choices, though seriously, what's with that hat? I'm talking about questioning your own beliefs and assumptions. It's about looking at things from different angles and not just accepting things at face value. Think of it like this. If your entire worldview is built on a foundation of assumptions, you're basically living in a house of cards. One strong breeze of opposing viewpoints, and boom, your whole belief system collapses. Critical thinking helps you build a more solid foundation, one that can withstand even the strongest gusts of intellectual debate. Plus, you'll be way more interesting at parties. How to fight without turning into a monster. So, how do you actually use this Socratic wisdom in real life? It's not just about winning an argument, it's about engaging in meaningful dialogue and understanding different perspectives. Let's say you and your friend are arguing about politics, religion, or the best way to fold a fitted sheet. It's a surprisingly contentious topic. These discussions can easily become heated, but they don't have to turn into a battle. First, take a deep breath and channel your inner Socrates. This means approaching the conversation with a calm and open mind, ready to explore the topic, rather than defend your position at all costs. Instead of launching into a tirade, ask questions. This is the essence of the Socratic method. By asking questions, you encourage the other person to think more deeply about their own views. Why do you think that? What led you to that conclusion? These questions can help uncover the reasoning behind their beliefs. What evidence do you have? Asking for evidence encourages a fact-based discussion rather than an emotional one. It shifts the focus from winning to understanding. Is that fitted sheet sentient? Sometimes a little humor can diffuse tension and make the conversation more enjoyable. Second, listen to their answers. This might seem obvious, but active listening is a skill that many of us need to practice. I know it sounds crazy, but try to actually understand their perspective. This means not just waiting for your turn to speak, but genuinely considering what they are saying. You might learn something, or at least you'll gain a better understanding of why they're wrong. And finally, be respectful. Respect is the cornerstone of any productive conversation. Remember, you're not trying to win an argument, you're trying to have a conversation. This means valuing the relationship more than the need to be right. So, keep it civil, keep it funny, and try not to resort to personal insults. Unless they started it, then all bets are off. Just kidding. Even if they started it, rise above and keep the conversation respectful. This way, you can walk away from the discussion with your dignity intact and maybe even a stronger relationship. In the end, the goal is to foster understanding and connection, not division. So next time you find yourself in a heated debate, remember these tips and strive to fight without turning into a monster. Socrates was right. In the end, Socrates was onto something. His ideas have stood the test of time, influencing countless generations of thinkers, philosophers, and everyday people like you and me. His whole philosophy was about using dialogue and debate as a way to get closer to the truth. Socrates believed that through rigorous questioning and open discussion, we could uncover deeper insights and challenge our own assumptions. He believed that by questioning everything, we could sharpen our minds, strengthen our relationships, and maybe even make the world a slightly less confusing place. Imagine a world where everyone took a moment to really think about their beliefs and engage in meaningful conversations. Now, I'm not saying you need to go full Socrates and start questioning the existence of reality itself, though if you do, let me know how that goes. But there's something to be said for adopting a bit of his method in our daily lives. By embracing curiosity, critical thinking, and a healthy dose of humor, we can all learn to argue better, think smarter, and maybe even keep our friends in the process. It's about finding that balance between challenging ideas and maintaining respect for others. Just try to avoid the whole drinking hemlock thing, okay? Socrates' commitment to his principles was admirable, but we don't need to follow him in every aspect. That's one part of Socrates' legacy we're better off without. Instead, let's focus on the positive aspects of his teachings, questioning, debating, and seeking truth in a way that enriches our lives and the lives of those around us. So the next time you find yourself in a debate or a deep conversation, channel a bit of Socrates. Ask questions, listen actively, and don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. You might just find that it leads to a more fulfilling and enlightened way of thinking. And remember, it's not just about winning an argument, it's about the journey of discovery and understanding. Socrates showed us that the path to wisdom is paved with questions, not answers. So let's keep asking, keep learning, and keep growing together. Remember, the only thing better than winning an argument is winning a subscriber. Hit that like button if you want to be a modern-day Socrates. Just don't start questioning your decision to subscribe.